Hey everyone, Stos here, back at it again for another episode of Dose of Stos. And in today's video, we are talking about some NFL football. The first week of games are coming up this Sunday. I'm making this video after the Thursday night football game. The Chiefs lost to the Lions 21-0, and honestly, it was kind of a crazy game. I was actually filming a high school game out here in Arizona, so I didn't really get to watch much of it, but I did see the highlights, and man, the Chiefs kind of gave that game away, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Kadarius Toney, I started him in one of my 3 fantasy football leagues in like my flex position because I really didn't have many other options. I was going to possibly start OBJ, but I saw that he was questionable, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to start him or not. I started Kadarius Toney, and man, I regret that. I regret that a lot. He got me 1.1 points, had like 4 dropped catches. It was bad. The Chiefs just made a lot of mistakes in that game. Kind of shocking considering the fact that they're the defending Super Bowl champions, obviously, beating the Eagles out here in Arizona last February. But man, hats off to the Lions. They really came out fighting. Got a huge pick six on, once again, a Kadarius Toney drop, but I'm not trying to bag on Kadarius much. I mean, it's a tough week. I feel bad for the guy. I heard that he like deleted Twitter and stuff just because I'm sure Chiefs fans are just going after him this week. And you know that's kind of the nature of sports now. But at the end of the day, I still do think the Chiefs are going to be a good football team this season. They didn't have Travis Kelce. They're dealing with not having Chris Jones as well, which is kind of tough. So, I think there's a lot to take from it on both sides for the Lions and the Chiefs. If you're a Lions fan, you got to be stoked right now because you won week 1 in the first game of the regular season against the defending champs. So that's huge for them. A lot of things the Chiefs probably want to work on, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, all those miscues on offense, and they still only lost the game by a point. So there's some good things coming there from the Chiefs. But I kind of just wanted to break down how I think the rest of the games this week are going to go. One of the first ones, I think this is a really easy matchup for me to decide, is the Ravens and the Texans. I think the Ravens will most likely blow out the Texans, I would assume. I think the Texans are probably going to be, once again, one of the worst teams in the NFL. CJ Stroud, I think, could be all right. I personally have a feeling that he's going to struggle in this Texans offense and kind of just getting on his feet in the NFL. The Texans really don't have a lot of weapons around him, so I think it might be tough. I saw some of his plays in the preseason, and I wasn't that impressed, to be honest, but at the end of the day, it still is just preseason. This is a rookie quarterback, but I think with Lamar Jackson coming back after that injury last season, I think he has a lot to prove. I think the Ravens have a lot to prove, so I'm definitely taking the Ravens in that Texans matchup. Another key matchup this week, I guess that last one wasn't much of a key matchup, but this matchup is a division matchup between the Panthers and the Falcons. Another rookie quarterback with Bryce Young starting for the Panthers. And, I mean, you got Desmond Ridder starting for the Falcons. He's not a rookie, but he doesn't have a lot of starts under his belt. So I think that game could be pretty good. I kind of want to favor with the Panthers in that one. I think the Panthers honestly have a chance at winning that division. I know it's not a great division, but I think it's probably going to come down to them and the Saints. So I think the Panthers beat the Falcons. I think they have a good enough offense. If Bryce Young plays well, they can definitely put some points on the board. I don't think they have a bad defense either. So I'm definitely going to take the Panthers in that one. Another divisional matchup is the Jaguars and the Colts. This one was pretty easy for me as well. I think I'm taking the Jaguars. The Jaguars looked really good last season. I think they're going to be pretty good this season. Trevor Lawrence continuing to improve every single season. And the Colts, they have another rookie quarterback. So, I mean, all three of these first matchups that we're talking about all have a rookie quarterback in them. I think Anthony Richardson could be good. I think he's kind of not a long shot, but he's kind of like a wild card quarterback this season. I think he could either have a great rookie year or kind of a bad one. But I think the Colts, without having Jonathan Taylor to start off this season, their offense won't be as efficient. I think the Jaguars are going to come out firing. They had a good season last year, so I'm definitely going to take the Jags in that one. Also, I want to see your guys' predictions in the comments because I'm curious as to what you guys think on these upcoming games. This next one I actually think is going to be a really good game, Titans and Saints. Saints are at home in this game, and it's going to be their first game with Derek Carr. I think this game's going to be neck and neck. Both teams, I think, are kind of mid-level teams. I think the Saints probably have the best chance of winning their division. So I think I kind of want to favor Saints here. I know the division isn't strong. I said that already. But I kind of feel like Derek Carr might have a good season this year. I think that he's going to fit super well with that Saints offense. They're not going to have Alvin Kamara because he's suspended. But I know the Saints defense is supposed to be pretty good this year. So I kind of want to favor the Saints in that matchup. I'm not sure I'm not sure how much they're going to win by, but I kind of feel like they're the favorite there. The only thing I will say is the Titans do have Derrick Henry, and I swear that man can change the outcome of games. So if he's on a tear and they can't stop the run, I definitely think the Titans have a chance. I'm also very interested to see how DeAndre Hopkins does in his debut. So we'll see how that goes. As far as the Eagles-Patriots game, to be honest, I don't really see the Patriots winning this one. I think the Eagles will certainly beat the Patriots in that game. The Patriots are retiring Tom Brady's. Are they retiring his number? I think it is a number retirement ceremony. So I think that will be cool for the Patriots. It is a home game for them, but I think the Eagles are just too high powered on offense and on defense, to be honest. They just have a great team, obviously making it to the Super Bowl last year. But yeah, I got to go with the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have an incredible season. So yeah, give me the Eagles in that matchup, to be honest with you. Dolphins and Chargers is the next one I'm looking at, and that's a really good matchup. Like that's two good teams in the AFC. I think the Dolphins are a tricky team to kind of judge right now because I think there's a good chance that they have a good season, but I also really wouldn't be surprised if it kind of goes downhill quickly. The AFC East is stacked. All four teams are pretty good. The Patriots, I would say, are the worst team in that division. But I mean, the Jets and the Bills, those are both going to be two playoff teams, in my opinion. But I think the thing about the Chargers, though, is just their offense. Their offense is great. Their defense isn't amazing, but it's not bad at all. There's a ton of great defensive players there. There's a few holes within the defense, I would say, but overall, a great defense. So I think I'm going to go with the Chargers. I could see Justin Herbert having an amazing year as well. And I think the thing about the Chargers is just like health. Like I think that's one of the big things with them. They always struggle staying healthy, and I think that's kind of the thorn in their foot in most seasons, to be honest with you. And obviously last year, a terrible ending for them, blowing that huge lead against the Jaguars. So we'll see how week one goes. I will say the Chargers do seem to be a team that starts off hot. So I'm going to go Chargers in the week one matchup. The next matchup it's showing me, for some reason it's showing me Cowboys-Giants. I know that's the primetime game, right? Yeah, the 5:20 game on Sunday. So that's the Sunday night game. Give me the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to have a pretty good year. I'm not sure if their record will be as good as it was last year, but I do think that they have a chance to be a pretty good team in that division. Probably going to finish second or first, right around the Eagles. The Giants, they're not a bad team, but I just don't think they added enough for them to be the favorite here and for me to pick them. I'm curious as to how Danny Dimes does this season. He hasn't been doing bad. I don't think he's been doing bad at all, but I just don't think the Giants made enough offseason moves for me to be comfortable picking them in week one, especially against the Cowboys. So I'm going to go Cowboys there. The next team that we are talking about is the Bengals and the Browns. Now, that's tough too because we haven't seen much of Deshaun Watson on the Browns. So I'm definitely leaning towards the Bengals. I also think the Bengals are probably one of the best teams in the AFC. I just think that Joe Burrow is solidified himself as a top quarterback in the league. They have a top wide receiver in Jamar Chase. Their defense, especially their defensive front, is really good. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals in that one. It is an away game for them, but still, nonetheless, I think the Bengals are gonna be a really good team. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers with their first game with Baker Mayfield, this is gonna be interesting. They're going into Minnesota to play the Vikings. And I know I'm taking a lot of the favorites here. I think the only underdog I've taken so far in terms of the spread is I took the Panthers. I'm pretty sure they're an underdog. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the favorite teams in this week are just a lot better, and obviously it's week 1, so we really don't know a lot yet. But I think I got to go the Vikings. They looked good last year. They had a bad playoff loss. They're not really known for being good in the playoffs, but I think the Vikings definitely beat the Buccaneers. It's Baker's first game with them, so we're really not sure what to expect. So I'm gonna go Vikings. I think that's the safe play. Commanders and Cardinals. Man, for the fact that the Commanders are like, I think they're favored by like a touchdown in this one. That goes to show it's gonna be a rough season for Cardinals fans. I'm gonna be honest. Being out here in Arizona, I know a lot of people that are Cardinals fans are not excited for this year. Probably going to be a bottom 2 or 3 team in the league, possibly the worst team in the league, to be completely honest. So I got to go Commanders. They're at home as well. So, yeah, I got to go Commanders. I just don't think the Cardinals, especially without Kyler Murray, I just don't think they're going to be able to win many games this season. 49ers and the Steelers, that's going to be an insane defensive matchup. Obviously, Kenny Pickett and Brock Purdy, two quarterbacks that are trying to prove a lot still in this league. So I think this is going to be an interesting game. I would assume it's going to be low scoring, probably something like 21-17, something in that range, maybe a little bit more. But I think I'm going to go with the Niners going into Pittsburgh and getting a win. Their defense is just, man, I think they might have solidified themselves as the best defense in the league as of right now. So I got to go Niners. They also, adding Christian McCaffrey last year, like that was huge for them. Their running game is really good. They have so many offensive weapons. And then on top of that, the defense, of course. Raiders Broncos. Now, this is one, man, this is a toss-up for me. Raiders Broncos. This is one I actually have to think about because I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I really have had a hard time choosing who I want to pick. I feel like the Raiders, man, this is one of those where I genuinely think it could go either way. I think because it's a home game for the Broncos and the fact that the Broncos have Sean Payton as their head coach this season, I think I'm going to roll with the Broncos. Obviously, last year was horrendous. It was just a disappointing year for them, especially adding Russell Wilson, and it just didn't work out at all. So I think they have a little bit of something to prove. So I am going to go with the Broncos in that one. I think it's going to be a very close game, though. I really do. I think that's a good game to watch, another divisional matchup. So keep your eyes on that one if you want to watch a close game. Seahawks and Rams, I got to go Seahawks. The Rams are not supposed to be very good this season. They kind of sold everything for that one Super Bowl, and obviously as they should. I mean, it's hard to win in the NFL, and I think when you get an opportunity to win, you have to capitalize on it, and the Rams did that. They won a Super Bowl. But, man, it's coming back to bite them now because their roster's looking rough. Cooper Kupp's not playing. Matthew Stafford was hurt part of last year. Didn't have a great season when he was playing. And I think the Seahawks just continue to be hungry. I mean, Geno Smith trying to have back-to-back consecutive good seasons as a starter. I got to go Seahawks in that one. Packers-Bears. This is another one where you're just like, it could go either way. It is a divisional matchup. I think the Bears, as of right now, are the better team, but I'm going to go with the Packers. I kind of have this feeling that Jordan Love is going to have a really good first game. I could be completely wrong, but something about the Packers like gives me some feeling that they could have a decent season. So I'm going to go with the Packers, man. I think the Packers have enough firepower to stay in it with the Bears. I'm very curious as to whether or not their offense can hold up against the Bears defense, but I think Jordan Love is going to be a good quarterback. I really do. I think We know that the Packers like to hold on to quarterbacks and have them be mentored by the quarterbacks before them. And Aaron Rodgers was around Jordan Love for a long time. I think is this Jordan Love? This might be Jordan Love's fourth season. I'm really not sure, but it's his third or fourth season. So he was under Aaron Rodgers for quite some time. And honestly, I think that's really good for him. I think he probably knows the offense super well. He has weapons around him. I think Christian Watson's going to be good this year. He's not playing this Sunday, so I think that could honestly have some impact on the game. I'm going to still go with the Packers, though, just because I kind of want to see him do well. I kind of do. They're in a tough situation not having Aaron Rodgers, and it's always kind of cool to see how those teams do. It was interesting when the Patriots played their first season without Tom Brady, so we'll see how the Packers do. And the last matchup of the week is on Monday night, and it's probably going to be the best game of the entire week. Bills Jets, another divisional matchup, two top teams in the AFC in my opinion. And man, I think the Bills have the better chance of winning because of the fact that they've been around each other longer. It's not a new quarterback. Josh Allen is obviously a top quarterback in the league. The Bills are a top team in the league. They've been consistent for many years straight, but something's telling me that the Jets are going to win this game. It's at home. It's Aaron Rodgers' first game of the season, first game with the Jets in general. And I mean, the Jets have added some weapons this offseason. They added Dalvin Cook, so they have a two-headed monster at running back with him and Breece Hall. I know Breece Hall is questionable for this game, and I think they are going to have him on limited reps. So we should see a lot of Dalvin Cook. So if you do have Dalvin Cook in fantasy, I wouldn't be too afraid to start him. Obviously, it's not going to be as many reps as he was getting in Minnesota. But I do think I want to go with the Jets. I want to make a video every single week predicting all the NFL games this entire season, and maybe I'll just keep a record of how I did predictions wise. But yeah, I think I'm going to go Jets in that one. I think the Bills, once again, I think the Bills are a great team. It is just week one though, so it's kind of just a lot of judgment, like a lot of gut checking, kind of just going off of what I feel, because really we have nothing to look at right now. But I think I'm just going to go with Jets. I don't want to bet against Aaron Rodgers. Lots of times when you bet against that man, he ends up just going off. So I think I'm going to go with the Jets. Let me know what you guys think about my picks, and put some of your favorite games in the comments, some of your predictions for this NFL season or even for just week one. And yeah, we're going to make some more of these videos, guys. So I hope you guys got your dose of Stos, and I'll catch you next time.